Hello everyone, I'm Rajani Sinha, Chief Economist, CareEdge, and I will be talking briefly about the upcoming Union Budget. FY23 was a difficult year for the government finances, and FY24 will have its own challenges. In the current fiscal, just when the economy was coming out of the pandemic-led crisis, it got hit by the commodity price shocks due to Russia-Ukraine war. While the global commodity prices and domestic inflation has moderated in the last few years, now there are grave concerns around global slowdown. In FY23, healthy tax buoyancy was a strong supporting factor for the government finances. So even after factoring in the revenue shortfall from excise and customs duty cut, we expect gross tax revenue to exceed the budgeted target by around 3.5 lakh crore. On the non-tax revenue front, there could be some slippages due to the lower dividend transfer from the RBI. Disinvestment again is an uncertain area, and the government may not be able to meet its target of 65,000 crore for this year. Now coming to expenditure front, like I mentioned before, it has been a difficult year and the government subsidy burden has increased both for food and fertilizer in the current year. The government in its first supplementary grant has asked for additional outgo of 3.3 lakh crore. However, on the expenditure front, I would also like to highlight that the quality of expenditure has been improving with increased focus on capex. The government has budgeted for a strong capex of 7.5 trillion for FY23 and achieved around 60% of the same till November. So overall, fiscal deficit could exceed the budget target by 80,000 to 1 lakh crore in FY23. However, with higher nominal GDP growth of 15% in FY23, the ratio of fiscal deficit to GDP is likely to remain around 6.4 or maybe 6.5% of GDP. Now coming to FY24, it will be another challenging year for the government, with nominal GDP growth likely to moderate to around 10%. This implies that strong tax revenue growth that was a big support in FY23 will see some moderation in FY24. The focus on capex will continue. However, we may not see a sharp jump in capex on top of the already high capex in FY23. The ratio of revenue to capex that signals quality of expenditure has improved in the last 2 years and is likely to improve further in FY24. Broadly, even in this difficult environment, the government is likely to move towards fiscal consolidation and reduce the fiscal deficit to around 5.8% of GDP in FY24. I would like to conclude by saying, while the government has been focusing on fiscal infrastructure like roads, railways and highways, the government needs to increase its focus on social infra in the form of increased spending on education, healthcare and skilling. This will help the economy in the long term to achieve sustainable and inclusive growth.